A night of terror and the birth of monster. The town of Ravenwood was a place of whispered legends and buried secrets. Everyone knew about the abandoned house on the outskirts, the place where people disappeared. Sam and Riley, best friends since childhood, had grown up hearing the terrifying stories. But unlike the others, Sam didn't fear the unknown. He craved it. "Come on, Riley," Sam said, flashing a cocky grin. "It's just a stupid legend." Riley sighed, pulling his hoodie tighter around him. The night air was thick with fog, curling through the trees like ghostly fingers. "This is a bad idea, dude. People say a lot of crap," Sam interrupted. "No one has actually seen anything. Let's prove them wrong." The house loomed in the distance, its wooden walls rotting, its windows empty black voids. The front door stood slightly open, as if inviting them in. Riley swallowed hard. Every part of him screamed to turn back, but he couldn't leave Sam alone. With a deep breath, they stepped inside. The door slammed shut behind them, and the darkness breathed. The house smelled of death and rot. The air was thick, heavy, almost suffocating. Sam flicked on his flashlight. Dust particles floated in the beam, settling over ancient furniture, claw-marked walls, and symbols drawn in dried blood. Riley's gut twisted. This place isn't abandoned. Then, a sound, a low, wet breathing. They weren't alone. Sam took a step forward. His foot squelched. He lifted it. Blood pooled on the floor. Fresh, sticky. "Sam," Riley whispered, panic rising. "Something's here." Before Sam could respond, a shadow shifted in the corner. At first it looked human, but then its head twitched unnaturally. Its eyes snapped open, solid black voids. Then it moved, so fast. The creature lunged. Sam had no time to react before it was on him, claws ripping through his chest. Blood sprayed across the floor as Sam screamed, thrashing against the impossible strength of the thing feeding on him. Riley was frozen in horror. His best friend, his only friend, was being drained alive. The creature's mouth latched onto Sam's throat, sucking with wet, slurping sounds. Skin shriveled, veins blackened. Then, the thing stepped back. Sam collapsed. His lifeless eyes stared up, his skin gray, his body motionless. The creature licked its lips, watching Riley. Then Sam's body twitched. His fingers moved. His dead eyes snapped open. But they weren't Sam's anymore. Riley stumbled backward as Sam sat up, his head cocked at an unnatural angle. His mouth stretched into a wide, jagged grin. And when he spoke, his voice was not his own. "I feel incredible." His wounds were gone. His skin, once pale, had turned ashen gray. His fingernails elongated into claws. Riley's mind screamed, "Run!" But Sam moved faster than anything human. In a blink, he was in front of Riley, his new, unnatural black eyes staring into his soul. "You should have believed the stories." Riley turned and ran. The nightmare hunt. Riley burst through the door, his breath ragged, his heart slamming against his ribs. But the road was gone. The town had vanished. The world around him had changed. The trees twisted like skeletal hands. The sky bled red, and the air smelled of decay and death. A deep, guttural laugh echoed behind him. "Sam." Riley sprinted through the nightmare forest. His legs burned, his vision blurred. But behind him, something moved between the trees. Too fast, too silent. Then a whisper in his ear. "You can't run, Riley." Riley spun just in time to see Sam's face inches from his, grinning, his needle-like teeth dripping with blood. Then Sam pounced. Riley fought, hard, but Sam was no longer human. His claws tore into Riley's flesh, pinning him down. His breath was cold against Riley's neck. "You don't understand, Riley," Sam whispered. "This isn't a curse." Riley thrashed, but Sam's grip was iron. "This is a gift." Then, Sam bit down. Riley's scream ripped through the night. Pain exploded through his body as his blood was drained, his soul slipping away. His heartbeat slowed, his skin tightened, his veins turned black. Then, the pain stopped. Riley opened his eyes. His body felt light, powerful, invincible. He looked at Sam, his best friend, his brother, and he smiled. The next morning, Ravenwood was quiet. No one knew about the horrors of the night. No one heard Riley's screams. But deep in the woods, two figures stood together, their black eyes empty, their mouths lined with needle-like fangs. Their hunger was insatiable, and Ravenwood was full of blood. They smiled. Then they vanished into the shadows, searching for their next meal.